Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. Today's an exciting day because it's seed starting day, y'all. We are 5 weeks until the last frost date in zone 7. And so today I'm gonna walk you through the things I'm gonna be starting at this point of the journey at 5 weeks before the last frost date. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. And I would love for you to consider subscribing to this channel. On this channel, we talk about all things homesteading, gardening, cooking from scratch, sourdough bread, and you name it, we talk about it. And we throw in some DIY as well. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for being a part of this journey. We've had a lot of new subscribers in the last week or so. And so I am so elated that you guys have decided to join this community. Listen, we are getting so close to the summer gardening season. I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, let's press the gas. On the other hand, I'm like, let's pump the brakes, because y'all, are we ready? Are we ready? Because y'all know, I call it the summer press. Once it hits and it is busy. So we are doing a weekly seed starting challenge. If you're brand new here, we have been doing this for the last 7 weeks. There is a playlist that I'll pop up here if you want to follow along and catch up on what you have missed. But essentially every single week I am starting seeds. The seeds that should be started at that point in the season. Like I said, I'm in Tennessee in zone 7. And so you can follow along even if you're not in my zone. Essentially, we're just looking at the last frost date and we are backing things up. Just like when you look on your seed packet and it says to start tomatoes 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. What we have done is we have put together a spreadsheet on a seed starting calculator that calculates for us when to start what seed. It is very, very, very important that you start seeds at the right time. You don't want to start your tomatoes 12 weeks ahead of schedule, nor do you want to start your cucumbers too late. And so if you need that resource, I do have a seed starting calculator that you can buy from our website. It's $6.95. It's an Excel spreadsheet. Pop your thing, your last frost date in, and it's going to spit out for you when you're going to start. Now, I'm inviting you to be part of the challenge. That means I want you to start seeds every single week. So if you are ahead of me, then you may have already started these things. If you're behind me, then you know what to plant when it comes your time at 5 weeks before. So at the beginning of the video, what you saw me doing is I'm in my sunroom and I'm kind of just getting organized and tidied up. So y'all, monumental. What I was doing was I was putting up my tomato and pepper seeds and all the seeds that I know I'm not going to be starting anymore. So all of the cool season crops that I did in the fall and winter, and some of you may be doing it for the spring, like cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, those things I am not starting anymore. What I have in my garden, it has been there since September because I have a high tunnel and we are reaping still the harvest. But once it is done, it is done. I'm not starting those things anymore. So I was putting all of the seed packets up in their respective places and just getting organized. And part of that was the tomatoes and peppers. You guys know we have started tomatoes and peppers for the last 3 weeks as part of our weekly seed starting challenge. Last week was the halfway point. If you did not watch that video, go back and watch it. Because at the halfway point, I talked about what you should be doing at the halfway point. You should be taking inventory of what you have and what you still are short on or what you need to do more of. And so we did that last week and we did our last round of tomatoes and peppers. So I put those seeds up because we're not doing any more peppers. We're not doing any more tomatoes. Now, the caveat is that I will do more tomatoes at the end of April for my backyard raised bed right here. But you guys know I have onions and garlic growing in there right now. They won't be harvested until the end of May. And so I will do a succession of paste Roma tomatoes in my backyard. And then also we were going to do some sweet potatoes back here. So the goal is that I will start those Roma tomatoes probably the end of April for transplanting out at the beginning of June in my backyard. I have the beauty of having a very long growing season, so I can actually put tomatoes out in June and still have quite a harvest. I will be harvesting tomatoes all the way to October, which is nice. But the tomatoes that we're doing in the high tunnel and in our outside garden, we have already started those. They are percolating and they are looking really, really good. Now, as part of this challenge also, I show you what we started the week before so that you can see what progress or what failures I'm having, so that if you need to change something on your end, if you want to track along with me, you can do that. Now, this week, I'm not going to show you specifically what I started at week 6, because if you were here, you know that on last week's video, when I got ready to plant, I discovered a lot of ants in my soil. I had to go out of town, and so I could not deal with the ants. So my husband hopefully got rid of all of the ants while I was gone. When I came back, I planted my 6-week seed starts, just like I mentioned on the video, but they have only been planted now for about 3 weeks. I don't have any germinate. 3 weeks, 3 days. So I don't have any germination as of yet, which is normal. So I won't show you the 6-week seed starting plants, because right now they've only been started 3 days. But I will show you how everything is looking in my house at my first seed starting station. So I'm going to insert that video right here so you can take a look overall how things are progressing in the house. Y'all, the seed starting station in the house is full. So you can see overall things are looking really, really good. This is shelf number 2. This is shelf number 3. And then that's shelf number 4. You can see things are green, they're growing. You can also see the things that we up potted, how well they're doing. Look at my lettuce right there. Look at my chamomile behind the lettuce. Everything looks so good and vibrant. I'm very, very pleased with how things are progressing. Okay, y'all, you can see that things are looking really, really good in the house. And hopefully, maybe I'll do it on the next video, but there was a particular tray. Remember last week we did some up potting because some things needed to be moved to a bigger pot. And so those things, y'all, in a week's time, they have just blossomed and done well. So I encourage you at this point in the journey, here's some things you need to be thinking about and doing. It is now time to start up potting, especially if you've been planting things from the 12-week mark up until now and you're kind of along my same timeline. You need to be up potting things so they have room and space to grow. The second thing that you should be doing is making sure that you are fertilizing your seedlings. Now, if you started with a seed starting mix, a traditional seed starting mix does not have fertilizer. It is light and fluffy, so it's very easy for your seeds to germinate and push up through the soil. If you started with a potting soil mix like I did, then there is some fertilizer already in there. But once my seedlings start to get like their true leaves and the second set of leaves, I make sure that I put some fertilizer and I spray my seedlings so that they continue to grow. Now, the fertilizer of choice that I use is Rev, and you can get it at organicrev.com. I think that's what it is, organicrev.com. I'll put the link up here. Let me tell y'all, it is absolutely amazing. It is perfect for seedlings. It is perfect for plants. It is perfect for your garden. It is completely natural, completely organic. And I do have a discount in my description box below. And then also when it comes to Organic Rev, if you just want to try it, you can go to the website and they will send you a free, I think it's a 4-ounce bottle for you to try for free. All you got to do is pay shipping. And 1 ounce is equal to 1 gallon. So you put 1 ounce into 1 gallon of water. So that'll give you 4 gallons of stuff to try. But that is what I use on my plants all throughout the season. And so that's what I'm using to fertilize my plants. So make sure that you're doing that and you're fertilizing your seedlings. Now let's talk about what we're going to start on week 5. And I'm excited. I'm always excited, but I'm really excited about week 5 because y'all, for the last 3 weeks, we've been doing mainly tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, marigolds. That has kind of been the theme for the last 3 weeks. But this week, we get to start some new stuff that we have not started yet. So let's dig in and talk about what we're starting this week. Before we jump into what we're starting this week at the 5-week mark, y'all, I was out of town. You know, anytime I'm out of town, I'm going to find the local nursery or a local nursery and go in there and peruse. Okay? So that's no different. That's what I did. And so I bought some more seeds. Did I need more seeds? I'm a gardener. Of course I needed more seeds. So let me show you what I bought. Okay, so I got 2 new kinds of nasturtiums, and nasturtiums we're actually starting this week, but this is all botanical interest right here. This is an Alaska variegated nasturtium, and then the Fiesta blend nasturtium. So I'm gonna add that to the stash. Then I also got a new sunflower called Mexican Sunflower Torch. If you've done any of these, let me know. I got 2 new kinds of zinnias. I love zinnias. This is a key lime pie blend, but I like the fact I need a white flower in my mix. When I was doing all of my flowers last year and doing my flower arrangements and bringing the house, I realized I did not have a good solid white flower. I think that the white, it just balances and makes things alive and fresh when you have a lot of the color. I like having a pop of white in there. Plus, I like just doing like a white and my eucalyptus and some dill or some basil. I think that'd be really, really pretty. So I want to make sure that I have a white flower. And then I got this Fireball blend. Those are some bright colors. I think that'll be pretty in the garden. What else did I get? I got the summer patty pan squash. Y'all, I started this last year and I accidentally sold it. It was labeled squash, but I don't think I labeled it patty pan squash. Anyway, I ended up selling it. And fortunately, I actually sold it to a friend who goes to my church. And so she was bringing in this patty pan squash. She's like, I got it from you. I was like, you did? I was like, you weren't supposed to get that. So y'all, I never tasted it and I never had it in my garden, but she would bring it to church and was just raving about this patty pan squash. So I am going to do that again this year and make sure that I label it accordingly so that I can actually have it for myself. And then I got sweet pea. I'm gonna try this again this year. This is the sweet pea that's more of it's a flower, not peas that you eat. It's not edible. But I heard that it's really good to grow in the garden and it gives a nice scent and fragrance. So I am going to do that this year. I started them last year, but I started them way too soon. And so by the time they were time to go out, it was a wash. That's why it's important to know when to start your seeds. And then I got from Haas Tools, I got some peaches and corn. Did I say peaches and corn? Peaches and cream sweet corn. I think this is the variety I'm gonna plant this year, but I don't know why I just bought 1 packet. I think I have more. But I need to do an inventory on my corn. Last year, remember, I messed up my corn because I had 2 different varieties. You guys let me know you should only plant 1 type of corn if they're gonna be that close together. So this year, we're gonna plant 1 type of corn. I think this may be it. We're gonna see. But I tell y'all what's those who grow corn, what is your favorite corn to grow, especially if you're in the South like me? Drop some corn names down here for me. And then I got a new okra that I've never tried before, which is a cow horn okra. So those are, y'all, not that bad. What, 10 or 12 packets? So if you have tried any of these, let me know down in the description down below what your experience has been with these. And then y'all, I got this. Look at this. This is quinoa. I thought it would be interesting, but as I keep reading up and researching, I don't know if I'm gonna start this year. Let me know if anybody has done quinoa. It says it has really pretty flowers, but it grows really, really tall. I don't know. I was just reading up on it. I'm like, that sounds not easy. And today I want easy. I might change my mind next week. But let me know if you've done quinoa before. And you know what? I don't even eat quinoa for real. Like, not for real. Like, I eat it, but I very rarely prepare it. But I need to because it's a really, really good grain. So another thing, if you tried quinoa before, let me know. If you have any good quinoa recipes, let me know that too. Because I really do need to eat it. It's really good for you. Okay, so we got that part done, our new seeds. I also bought some new plants too. I'm gonna show you that in another video. And mostly I got herbs at the nursery and I got things that I did not grow or things that did not go well. So I got some parsley, because y'all, my parsley never germinated. This year 3. These hands haven't grown parsley. So I got parsley, I got some sage, because I only have 1 sage, I think. I got some lemon thyme. mint, and spearmint. I think that's it. But they're gonna go, half is gonna go in my GREENSTALK right out here, and then the other half is gonna go in the tunnel. So I did buy that. But let's talk about what we're planting this week. So we are going to be planting, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, 6 things. And so I'm gonna go through and show you and tell you what we're going to be planting. Okay, there's actually 6 things we're gonna be starting this week. So if you are 5 weeks before your last frost date, most of these things that I'm planting says between 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost date. So if you're at 4, 5, and 6, you can plant these things. One that I'm really excited about, I'm excited about all of them, so I don't even know why I say that, is basil. Basil, basil, basil. Basil is a great herb to grow in the garden. It has so many uses. You can make basil tea, basil lemonade. You can make pesto. You can dry it and make your own Italian seasoning. You can dry it and just have dried basil. You can eat it fresh on salads. You can put it on in your Italian dishes. You can make, what do you call it, with the fresh mozzarella, the basil and balsamic vinaigrette. That has a name. It escapes me. But anyway, there's so many different things. It smells amazing. You can also grow basil in a pot or container, so you don't have to have a large space. Also, it is a great repellent, insect repellent, and does well next to tomatoes and to peppers. Also, I interplant basil with my watermelon. It's great around watermelon. It's a great companion plant for watermelon. So all around, I can't say enough good things about basil. So let's decide which ones we are actually going to do. So I have this Italian Genovese basil, and over the years I've done different kinds of basil. I have realized that there is it's a basil that I did that I was not, oh, this one, cardinal basil. This is very pretty in the garden, but to me, I did not like it with pesto. It had a very spicy, peppery bite, and I didn't like the pesto at all. So I've just kind of decided for me, when it comes to making pesto, I just use a traditional Genovese basil, or an Italian like flat leaf basil. To me, that's what tastes best. And this year, I don't think I'm gonna make as much pesto as I did before, because I realized we're not going through the pesto like I thought. And that's 2 years in a row that we haven't gone through it. I don't know, when I make pasta, Alfredo is like my sauce of choice. So I always lean towards Alfredo, but I need to use up my basil pesto. But a couple of new ones that we're doing this year is lemon basil. We're gonna do a lemon basil. We are going to do the dark purple opal. This is more just for color in the garden and also to use for flower arrangements. It's not for me to eat. I'm also gonna do a cinnamon basil. I think y'all told me to do this. What did y'all tell me to do with this? Like, why am I doing this? I don't remember. I just remember when I got the free seeds, y'all told me to do it. So I'm gonna try it. But what am I gonna use this for? Let me know. Okay, I said lemon basil. And then the rest, Genovese, yep. Sweet Thai basil, I normally do that. I never use it to eat with. It's pretty in the garden. It's a great pollinator and it's very pretty, but I never have cut it, harvested, and used it. So y'all let me know if you have used your Sweet Thai basil and what you use it in. Go ahead and tell me on this video. So that way, if I need to do it, I'll do it next week. Because by the time you see this video, I probably have already started my seeds. What else is in here? Okay, all the rest are like Genovese, basil. Okay, all the ones we already talked about. So basil is definitely on the list. One thing I've never done is holy basil, the Tulsi. And I don't know, I always hear people talk about it medicinally, but never edible. Y'all let me know. I've never done that one. Okay, so basil is one that we're gonna do this week. The next one is nasturtiums. You start those around this time at 5 weeks. Nasturtiums are actually edible flowers. I've never tried it. I heard that it's like kind of bitter, but you can put it on top of like a salad green. It's really pretty, you know, the leaf, the petals and things like that. I don't particularly care for nasturtiums. They just seem like a fragile flower to me, but they are great in the garden. That's why I grow them. I grow them because they are great insect repellents. I keep saying insect repellent, deterrent, I should say that. And so we have a couple of different ones that I already showed you. Plus we have this orchid flame. Also, it's a great one if you have a green stalk. It's a great one to put in your green stalk because it doesn't, it can kind of trail over the side of the green stalk. It doesn't have a big, strong root system. And so it grows great in the green stalk. And it's a great like filler flower for the green stalk, for the garden. I usually pop them in the corners of the raised beds is usually what I do. So I will do quite a bit of nasturtiums just because I use them for pops of color in my green stalk and in many other places. The next thing that I'm gonna be starting this week is celosia. Celosia is one of my favorite flowers. So that is on the list this week. I have some new ones that I'm going to try. Y'all look at this. Yellow Queen. Yellow in my business for HR is my brand color. And so I love yellow. I think that is so pretty. And when I went to that flower arranging workshop last summer, she had this one. I was like, I gotta have it. It's like little balls. It looks like velvet. It looks like yellow velvet. Y'all, I can't wait. I think that's so pretty. And then this one I thought would be pretty in a flower arrangement. It's called Green Sylphid. I thought that would be pretty. And just, you don't see, you know, green flower in the garden. So I'm gonna try that. That's new. Y'all got so many. There's a cream one. This is Urban Farmer. There's no picture, but it's cream kimono. I'm gonna try that one. Selway white. Oh, so I did get some white flowers. How about that? So many. They have, I've done this one before. That's a fan favorite. I've done this one before. That's a fan favorite. So I have tons of celosia. I've also done this one before. I wasn't a fan of this one. It's just, I don't know. It's just pink. I wasn't a big fan of that one. It's okay. But we're going to be planting celosia. Johnny's had a new one. I'll try to pop some pictures up here. It's called Shimmer. A new celosia. Chief Persimmon. That's a new one from Johnny's. I'm gonna be planting a lot of celosia. If you don't know, I love flowers. Like, I love flowers. If I could have my garden and my farm and a flower farm, I would. But your girl don't have the bandwidth for that. But I love flowers, so I try to bring in fresh flowers all summer long into my house to make flower arrangements. Did I say I love flowers? I love flowers. Okay, so we have basil, we have nasturtium, and we have celosia. The next thing that is on the list is craspedia. Craspedia is a flower. It is brand new to me. I've never done it before. So the one that I'm doing is Sunball. I'll pop a picture up here. It's a yellow. It reminds me, what's the flowers, y'all, when we were kids, if you my age? We were kids, it's like white on the top, like a little ball, and you would blow it, and then it would go everywhere. What do you call that? Anyway, it reminds me of that. So I'm gonna try it for the first time and have it in my garden. So that is 1, 2, 3, that's the fourth one we're trying. And then also on week 5, I'm going to start my ornamental grasses. So I'm doing Persian cress, which I did last year, but I did it way too soon. It germinated so fast last year and it grew really fast. So again, that's why it's important to grow things at the right time, because I want to say I started at like 10 or 12 weeks and it was not, by the time it was ready to go out, when I tell you that thing was so root bound, it was like pulling bricks to get it up out of the pot, and it just didn't do well. So we're going to do it at the right time, which is now. So I'm doing Persian cress, and that's really for a filler for my flower arrangements and just for beauty in the garden. So y'all, this week is all about, well, we got the basil. That's like a real thing. And we got flowers. That's real things. But you can see a lot of it is, some of it, I should say, is just things that you may not be growing because you're not into flowers, and that's okay. Or you may not be growing because you don't have the space, and these are just extra things. But because I have the space and because I like it, I'm growing it. Another ornamental grass that I'm gonna try is called Frosted Explosion. Let me know if you guys have done that one. Okay, and then the very last thing, number 6, that we're starting this week is the sweet pea. I've never done this before, so this is my first time. I think they have to be trellised, if I'm not mistaken. So I have this one that's like a pretty white, and then I have Royal Blend. These are some seeds I already had. And then I have one called Perfume Delight. I think these are so, so pretty. So give me the tips on sweet pea and let me know what I don't know. So those are the 6 things that we're starting this week. Basil, nasturtium, celosia, craspedia, ornamental grasses, and sweet pea. Let me know if you've done any of these things, and let me know if there's anything that you're starting at the 5-week mark that I did not mention. But y'all, I'm excited. I am excited. Now, we have impending bad weather that's coming up this weekend. So I'm gonna try to get out to the garden, and I shouldn't say in between. I'm not gonna be out there like in the storm and stuff, but I'm gonna do these seeds in the next 24 to 48 hours. But I'm not gonna put that part on camera because you guys have seen me start the seeds and all that. I just wanted to come in and talk about what I'm starting at the 5-week mark. I wanted to show you my new seeds, show you and remind you what you should be doing, which is up potting. You should be fertilizing your plants, and you guys got a chance to see how the seeds are looking in the house. Now, I showed you the video of my seeds in the house. I'm in my sunroom, and this week will be the first week that seeds will be out here, because y'all can see we full in there. We full. We are full. And as I continue to up pot, it just takes up way more space. That is the, I don't want to say a downside, but that is the downside. When you up pot, you lose space because you're going from something that where I had 72 in a tray, and now I'm going down to 32. So now it takes 2.5 trays to fill up what one tray did. And so space really becomes an issue. But we're gonna do the best that we can. We're gonna do the best that we can. So next week's video on the 4-week, I'll be able to show you what happened with the 6-week seeds, as well as hopefully the 5-week seeds. And again, we'll be out here because we are full in the house. But y'all, I hope that things are going well. By the time you see this video, the threat of impending weather is supposed to be over. So I pray that everybody is safe, did not withstand damage or any of the sort. Also, just a reminder, if you want to come to the gardening workshop class that is on March the 23rd, go ahead and register. The link is in the description below. If you are a new gardener, if you're trying to make sense of gardening, you're trying to understand what's what, I encourage you to come to this class. It is 101 Beginner Basics. Y'all, until next time, remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.